Hello, you fuckheads and retards, and welcome back to another edition of my show. I've been gone for several months. Not that it matters, because I only have 74 subscribers, so it's not like anyone misses me. But anyway, I've been gone for a few months because of some shit that's been happening in my life. I'm moving, and that's always a pain in the ass. I'm going to be out of South Korea in February, the end of February. Plus, I had whooping cough. I don't know if any of you bastards have ever had whooping cough. It sucks. It's about as unpleasant as it sounds, whooping cough. And I got over that maybe a few weeks ago, although I still wake up from time to time coughing. But the pain in my ribs, thankfully, it's gone. I might even cracked a couple of ribs because with whooping cough, you can't stop coughing, you know? It's really awful. Anyway, let's get on with today's show. Again, this is News of the Day. That's where we take, what's happening in the news and we try to make sense out of it. And today's edition is about Elon Musk. I call it the two Elons, right? The two Elons. And about 10 days ago or so, Elon and Vivek Ramaswamy were in the news because over the H-1B visa. That's when these tech giants can fire their American engineers and go hire Indians for a lot less. And Vivek and Elon were saying how wonderful it is, which is fine, right? Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. If you're for the H-1B visa, we can't put you against the wall and shoot you, right? But it's not what they said, it's how they said it. Vivek said, in our culture, we only appreciate mediocrity, and all we care about are athletes. And we don't care about math or science. Basically, we're a bunch of morons. Which is kind of strange since we're the nation that invented the nuclear weapon and the computer and just about everything else. But suddenly we're a bunch of morons and our culture sucks. And Elon basically called us a bunch of retards too. That we're too stupid to actually get involved in engineering. Even though we have colleges like MIT and what is it, Caltech, the two best engineering schools in the world. We're just too fucking stupid to play in their little companies or whatnot. To which I reply to Elon and Vivek, fuck you. What else can I say? What gets me the most is when you look at these two guys, you look at Vivek, and he's from India. Have you seen that culture in India? It's awful over there. You got cows roaming the streets, and you can't go get a Big Mac, or it's terrible, And you look at South Africa, that place sucks. What's his name? Nelson Mandela had a wife named Winnie, And what she would do, Winnie, if you were against her and interfering with her power in any way, she'd have a tire put over your head. The tire would be like a necklace. And then she'd set that tire on fire and murder you. That's South African culture. And you're going to talk to us about American culture? Let me tell you guys something. When I was in China, when I was hanging out in China, I would often meet South Africans who were teachers in China, English teachers. And they would say to me, I can't go back to my country anymore. It's too dangerous. I'm going to be living in China the rest of my life. And they were just depressed. They had no country to go to. My point is that Vivek and Elon, they really have no business working for the American people if they think we're a bunch of morons. That would be like me working for Domino's, right? And every time I delivered a pizza, I say something like, only a fucking idiot would order a pizza from Domino's. Every time I knocked on the door, eventually not eventually, after they found out the first time, they'd say, look, you can't work here. Go try Pizza Hut. You know? And I think that's the same with these two, unless they were to come along and apologize and say, look, I misspoke and whatnot and things like that, then I think Orange Donald should fire them and say, you can't work in the administration. That's what it's not like he would confiscate their money or do anything like that. I mean, they didn't commit any crimes. It's legal to think Americans are a bunch of fucking idiots. Maybe there's some truth to it. I don't know. I'm an American. I'm pretty fucking stupid. Maybe there is some truth to it. But it kind of reminds me of Mitt Romney. I don't know if you guys remember back in 2011 when he was going against Obama. 2012, I can't remember the exact date. He went to one of these high-end dinners. It was like $500 or $1,000 a plate, something outrageous. And he said to everybody, half the country aren't going to vote for me because they're a bunch of losers. And right then, who's going to vote for him? Anyway, that's how I feel. So again, if I met Vivek and if I met Elon, I'd say, hey, go fuck yourself. How dare you? From fucking South Africa and India talking about my culture. It would be different if you were like from Norway. I'd say, okay, Norway, all right, they got shit going on in Norway. South Africa and India, jeez, fuck off. All right, here's my second. Here's the other Elon that I like, though. There's been a lot of, there's a guy in England named Tommy Morrison. Not Tommy Morrison, that's a dead boxer. Tommy Robinson, who is really, in my opinion, a courageous guy. And when these Pakistanis were coming into England, they started raping the girls, the English white girls. And it was swept under the rug for ages. Let me tell you, ages. And he would bring this up on various platforms, Tommy Robinson, and they'd get him, put him in. This guy spent a lot of time in prison. In fact, he's in prison now. And Musk, to his credit, is causing a lot of problems in the UK right now because he's bringing this up. About these rape gangs that are terrorizing the working class girls. And I mean, some of these stories are outrageous. I heard one today, I couldn't believe it, and this was covered up, about a 12-year-old girl, or I can't remember if she's 12 or 13, and they actually, these Pakistani men put a pump in her anus to expand it so that they could rape her. It just stuff that's disgusting, that was swept under by progressive white people because they hate us. They hate white working class. It's like a civil war, right, between the progressive libtards and the white working class, and it's happening all over. It's happening in America, it's happening in Germany, it's happening in France, it's happening in the Netherlands, and it's a big case here right now in the UK because, I mean, they don't know how many of these girls have been raped because, they don't want to, a lot of these politicians who belong to the Labour Party rely on the votes of Muslim migrants. So they didn't want to tackle the issue, tackle the topic. And you got to hand it to Tommy Robinson because it takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of courage to speak out and go to jail. Well, he's in jail now. He's in isolation. They can't put him in with the population, the general population, because he'll get murdered. So I have to hand props to Elon for that, and his acquiring Twitter, because he's bringing this up back to the forefront about this this thing about pedophilia and how the elites seem to say, okay, as long as it's one of the peons, that's okay, right? If you're raping the girls from in the UK, it's a council house, kind of like a project. As long as you're just raping them, okay, it's really disgusting what's been going on. So I have to say props to Elon for that. So what's my final analysis of Elon Musk? I'd say this. He's just a human being. He screws up like the rest of us. He does good things sometimes too. He probably doesn't, I don't put him on a pedestal, but I don't cast him to hell either. He does good, he does bad. And this is an excellent thing he did, so props to him. Anyway, my video is coming to an end. I wanted to tell you, retard, something. If you like this video, press like. And if you want to subscribe, press subscribe. It would help me out. And one other thing. I know you fucking morons probably don't read. Right? I don't read that much either. But I've written 4 books. So if you ever have any inclination to actually buy a book, some of you might not know what a book is. It's usually about this size, or you can order them on the internet digitally. Give my books a try. Go to Amazon if you want and type in Filthy Beast Korea. Filthy Beast Korea. And you'll see my book. It's written by the White Buffalo. And give it a try. It costs you $5. Same with my adventures in China. I have 2 books about my adventures in China. Type in Filthy Beast China. And you can purchase those if you'd like. And lastly, I've written I call it a horror novel, but it's not really meant to scare you so much. It's more of a gross out book and a humorous. There's some snappy dialogue and whatnot. It's called The Demon and the Doll, written by Jack Wood with 2 D's. So give those books a try if you want to. And I appreciate your time, and I wish you nothing but the best. God bless you.